How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and about a year ago on my channel, I started the most ambitious, biggest build I had ever done up to that point. I took a Lamborghini that was very, very neglected, but screen used in the last Fast and the Furious movie, and I turned it into an award-winning, museum-quality SEMA show car. And I promised myself after that was all over that I would never, ever, ever do that again, just because it was too taxing on me, my mental state, my wallet, and my time. So this year, I immediately broke that promise and I got a $400,000 McLaren that looks like this. Yeah, I'm not very good at following my own advice. So if you guys are new to the channel, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Florida Man Loses His Mind. Please subscribe because this is going to get a lot crazier. Now, the crumpled piece of paper that resembles a car in front of me is a 2016 Mclaren 675LT. It's one of the rarest and one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen. And ever since it came out a few years ago, I've been lusting after it, and I never, ever, ever thought that I'd be in a position to afford it. Well, that was until I saw this car listed for sale on AutoTempest. Wait. Oh, come on. Okay. All right, so let me be real with you for a second. I am incredibly humbled that I get to do this for a living. If you told me 10 years ago that I'd be able to work on cars like this, even with such interesting damage, I wouldn't have believed you. But the fact that I can is completely crazy. And I thank all of you for supporting me and liking the videos and watching. But a big component of me being able to afford cars and buy cars and repair cars and modify cars like this is AutoTempest, and it has been for a few years. Now, they took a chance on me when I did the Gallardo Spider, which was one of the first exotic car rebuilds on YouTube. But this year, we're doing something a little bit different. This build, from beginning to end, is completely sponsored by AutoTempest. And I'm really proud to work with them because they support their creators and they believe in me enough that they think that I can finish this project, or they could just want to see me fail miserably. In any case, it'll probably be entertaining. But if you guys are new to AutoTempest or you don't use it regularly, you should definitely go check it out right now. It'll be in the link in the video description below, or just go to autotempest.com. Now, it's a totally free platform that allows you to search with one click all of the major automotive classified sites. You can compare with all of Craigslist, and you can start a search with Facebook Marketplace. AutoTempest is adding more features as we speak. Actually, right now is when they're launching some brand new search criteria to make sure that you get the exact car that you're looking for. Now, I've been using AutoTempest for years, and I've found almost all of my cars on AutoTempest, but some of you might think, hey, I can find cheaper cars, and you're not as shrewd as Ed Bullion is, and I can find cars because my cousin's nephew's mother once sold a car for $1. You guys can all prove me wrong, because I'm starting a new series called FoundOnAutoTempest. So what I'm going to do is take viewer submissions that you find on AutoTempest, and I'm going to put them in a top 5 or top 10 format. Now, I think in the first episode, we should do something like cheap supercars. So if you find a cheap supercar on AutoTempest, you can go to FoundOnAutoTempest@gmail.com, and you can send me your submissions, and I'll go through them, and if you get in the top 5 or top 10, you'll get a shout out. Also, I may or may not buy those cars because, hi, my name is Tavarish, and I have a problem. So in order for me to explain why this car is so rare and so special, I should probably talk about what a rare car is in general. Now, if you take a regular car like my wife's 2012 Hyundai Elantra, yes, she drives an Elantra, and no, she doesn't want anything else. That car was produced 700,000 times in that year alone worldwide. Now, that's just a regular car. It's not rare at all. But if you go to a Lamborghini Gallardo Spider, like the one I have, in the 10-year run of Gallardos, they made 14,000 of those things. Now, that is rare in the grand scheme of things, but in terms of Lamborghinis, that's actually quite common. Now, if you go to my Lamborghini Murcielago, over that 8-year production run, they only made a little more than 4,000 cars. Now, that car is rare in the grand scheme of things, but this is on a different wavelength altogether. This car, worldwide, they only made 500 examples, and that's it, other than the convertible version, which they made 500 more of. And then they made like a few more carbon versions and then some special editions, but we're not counting those because it sort of ruins my point. Now, there's a reason why this car is called a 675LT. 675 stands for 675 metric horsepower. Actually, that equates to 666 SAE horsepower, the number of the beast, and let's just say the beast sort of bites back. But the LT stands for long tail, and the long tail is this guy right here. It actually isn't that long, and mine is sort of an ST. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter than it started, but the long tail is actually only 1.3 inches longer than the standard 650S on which this car is based. The long tail designation actually stems from the F1 GTR back in 1997. And the McLaren F1 is probably my favorite car of all time, so this, being reminiscent of it, really, really means a lot to me. Actually, one really cool thing about this car is the fact that this is the last big body flagship McLaren where you can see the engine and work on it a little bit from the top. This is a 3.8 liter V8. Let's see it a little better. Easy does it. The carbon's expensive. There we go. Got to get my hood strut here. There we go. So this engine is the M838T 3.8 liter V8 with twin turbos, producing the aforementioned 666 horsepower. It is a rocket ship, and it gets this car to a top speed of about 205 miles an hour and does 0 to 60 in about 2.7 seconds. Now, this one is a little bit worse for the wear because it doesn't actually run. I haven't tried it. I don't know if there's any internal engine damage, but the engine certainly looks okay from what I see here. Now, I am going to be going over the entire car in a sort of everything wrong with series because I haven't actually had this car on the lift, and I'm very, very excited and super scared about what lies beneath because it can get very, very expensive, because this car, when it was brand new, was $400,000, and brand new was only 4 years ago. Having said that, when I told my friends that I bought this car and I showed them pictures of it, they told me that I lost my mind. And I usually don't listen to people like that because I've built cars like this before. But then I looked up parts prices and I realized that they're probably right. Now let's go over some prices, and I don't know how to say this lightly, but if you buy one of these cars and you think it's going to be cheap to fix, you need to sell it right away because it's insane. So this fender, I'm adding lightness. Whew, okay. So that fender is $2,000. So we'll put that there. That's probably worth some money. This door is another $3,000. Now I'm giving you the used price. This side skirt, I need both sides. Used, they are $10,000 because it is a satin carbon fiber. Now back here, it's actually not too bad, except for the fact that the wheels, all four wheels, are bent. So the wheels are $5,000 used. The engine cover back here, just the engine cover that says 675LT in carbon fiber, that is $4,000. Now the mirror back here, which I actually skipped over, is missing a mirror element, and also all this stuff is cracked. So a new mirror is about $2,000, and we have to buy two of them, so that's $4,000. And that's not even counting the most expensive part on the outside of this car, and that is the body kit. Now the body kit has not been used on any other McLaren. It's not on the 650S, it's not on the MP412C. This is a one-time only body kit, and so only available on this limited production car. And that body kit used is $45,000. That's on top of everything that I just listed, and that's not even including the mechanical portions of the car. So if we come back here, we can see that the titanium exhaust, the very lightweight bespoke exhaust for this car, is a little bit, let's just call it different. That is $8,000, and an aftermarket one would probably be half that, so let's call it an even $4,000. But if you look down here, you'll see that not all is well in supercar land. Everything is shifted forward, which means that there's very likely some damage to the transmission or engine. And a transmission is about $17,000, and an engine can be upwards of 20 to 30 grand. This car isn't just a money pit, it is an absolute dumpster fire of cash. But there is a bright side to all this because there's a lot on the car that hasn't been damaged, mainly the brakes and suspension, which make this car handle so well. Now these are huge carbon ceramic discs with polished calipers. And even though the wheels are a little bit past it and the tires are not holding air and also gouged very badly, those can all be replaced. Now, the interior is also one of the best parts of the car. Fortunately, you can't really open it up because the battery is missing. Oh, also the battery is $3,500, so you can only get that from the McLaren dealer. Good. The way that you open this car, and I'm not sure if this is courtesy of the last people that owned it, but you just pull this, what looks like a fishing line or something, you just pull it real hard, and there we go. Billionaire doors. How about that? So I probably should give a shout out to the people that had this car before me, and it is LNC Collision. They have a YouTube channel. I'll link to it in the description below. And they were very instrumental in me getting this car because they told me everything that they saw was wrong with it. And they said there's a lot wrong with it. Now this is very, very tight in the midsection, mainly because I am very, very large in the midsection. But once you're in, you are in. And there we go. And it's actually a very, very nice place to be. There's nothing here that's out of the ordinary except for, these are supposed to be floor mats. And I'm not sure if this is like an MSO option. Looks sort of like a bath mat. It looks very homemade. So if you guys know if MSO makes bath mats, then let me know. And if you want these, then I'll be in my dumpster. Also, there's a lot of broken glass in here, and oh, look, a mouse turd. Now, one of the things I've always wanted to do with these cars, and one of the things I love to see, is when both doors are open. Now, it won't open unless I pull this, but okay, it's not holding up. Oh, I see why there's a lot of broken glass in here, because the windshield shattered. Oh, there's some carbon damage in there, so we'll just put that up here. This is how all McLaren owners do it, I'm told. Like that, and something like this. Okay, now just don't breathe on it, and it looks pretty cool. Ah, look, whoa, that looks bad. So actually, between takes, I noticed that the windshield that had been replaced by one of the salvage yards before is now cracked, so add that to the list. Oh boy, this is gonna be scary. So all jokes aside, this is actually a very concerning thing for me because I have no idea how I'm gonna work on this car, but I figure it's gonna be fun to share it with all of you, and maybe we'll catch some lucky breaks every now and again. So if you like this kind of stuff and you want more of this car, and I will have a lot more of this car in the coming days and weeks, then you should hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell because it helps me know what you guys want. And all the other projects are also going to be on the docket. I am finishing up a lot of stuff. You can see the car back there. You guys are really going to like that. But I think that's going to be it. I'm going to go cry myself to sleep because looking over everything this car needs, I figured out that it's way more than I've budgeted for. So I'll try to figure that out, maybe. But you guys should definitely go check out AutoTempest to find your dream car or your dream cheap car like I did, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. Link will be in the description below, and also send me your submissions for the cheap supercar that you guys would like to buy on AutoTempest. Go to FoundOnAutoTempest@gmail.com, check that out. But until next time, this is me reminding you guys that on cars like this that used to be $400,000 awesome super hyper mega cars and now they look like this. You guys need to build it better, and to do that, you need to wrench every day.